Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of ModStarz. I am Z. I'll be your host today, and we're going to talk about how to buy a good car. We have some steps here today that will help you go through that process to buy a vehicle, whether it's new or new to you. With that being said, let's get started. Okay, so step number one is to find the car that fits your lifestyle, whether it be needs, wants, or both. Hopefully, it's both. Whether you're a student or you have to travel long distances for work, or you just travel a lot, or you don't drive that much. It really just depends on really what you're looking for. In addition to that, would be your lifestyle. Now, are you a student? Are you a first-time vehicle owner? Is this your first time driving a vehicle ever? Do you live at home? Do you have many friends? Do you have a family? Are you starting a family? It just depends on you specifically. And of course, that will determine the size of the vehicle and everything else that you need. All right. Step number two. After you've figured out the car that fits your needs, you have to figure out how much you're willing to spend on the car. Therefore, you have to create a budget. How much will it cost to buy the car? How much will it cost to maintain the car, to insure and register the vehicle? If you run on gas, the car runs on gas, sorry. How much will it cost to fill up the tank? Or if it's diesel, is it a hybrid? Does it run on ethanol, which would be a flex fuel vehicle, or is it electric? Those things will determine the cost of the vehicle as well as color for insurance and other reasons. So it's always good to set that budget. That way you know going into this as part of your research what to expect. With that being said, let's move on to the next step. Step number three, do your research, do your research, do your research, do your research. So many times I have friends or family members and peers that will get a car and they like it, but there are certain problems that happen with the vehicle that they're upset about. And then when I go in to look into the vehicle, it's a very common problem. Some of them have very simple solutions. Some of them are a temporary fix. Others are a one-time fix. It really just depends on the vehicle and how much they're willing to put how much money they're willing to put in to get that repair done. So again, I think your buying experience will be a lot better if you know what to look for ahead of time and prepare a solution for those problems. That way you don't have to worry about them really to begin with, if at all. I'll give you an example. Myself, I am a car enthusiast, of course. I like cars. I'm a nut about them, so enthusiast is not even an accurate thing to say. But I was going to school at the time, I had my first job, and I didn't really want to spend what I didn't have. It's that simple. So researching cars that were not just common like your Mustangs, Camaros, or Infiniti G35s. Though they're all great cars, it just wasn't something I was looking for. And at the time, it was above my way out of my price range. So I actually got a Miata, and they're very low maintenance. They also have a non-interference motor. So simply put, if the belt, for example, breaks on the vehicle, the internals of the engine won't be damaged, which is pretty cool, and not all cars are made that way. It's a very simple car. It only has 2 seats, and it's lightweight, not powerful, but very fun. And I didn't know how to drive stick shift at the time, so it was a perfect first car for me. I got it for $2,000, and I didn't have to worry about any of those problems. What I did not realize until I saw the vehicle when I looked at it before I went to go get it was the damaged soft top, and I had to assess how bad that damage was and pay for that as well. That being said, let's move on to the next step. Step number 4, find the car for sale and go test drive it. So again, in my case, it was a Miata. In your case, it could be a truck or a minivan or a hybrid vehicle. Heck, even a motorcycle, really, depending on what you're looking for. But yet again, do your research first and get a budget together, how much you're willing to pay for the vehicle. And if it's within your price range when you find the vehicle, whether it's Craigslist, I used Craigslist, you use Car Gurus, Vehicles.com. There's so many other platforms you can find vehicles for sale for in your area. The list just goes on. So whatever you find in your area and whatever you might hold interest in, or whatever car you might like to get, locate that, see how much it costs, if it's within your budget, see if you can go test drive it. And when you do, also inspect or take somebody with you who knows what to look for on things that might need to be repaired. Something else to look forward to if that's the vehicle you want to buy. Say like leaky shocks, poor brakes, or bad steering feel, or it pulls to the left or to the right. The car may need an alignment, or it could be simply cosmetic damage that you didn't see when you called the owner of the vehicle, the one who's selling the car. And depending on the scenario, there might be some things that you find that the person selling it doesn't tell you about. So it's always important to do a pre-purchase inspection of any kind when you're buying a vehicle. And with that being said, setting money aside for those repairs ahead of time. So in my example, again, I had the Miata, and the soft top was torn. Like the back part of it was out. I'm surprised there are no. Honestly, I'm surprised there's nothing that was living in there when I got the car. Then again, it was winter, so it's kind of funny buying a convertible in winter. But it cost me, for when I looked into it and having somebody install it for me, a shop install it for me, it was around $1,000 to do. But there's a lifetime warranty on the soft top, and I was okay with that. There are certain repairs that you may not be okay with at a certain cost, and that's okay. Maybe it's something you could do yourself. Maybe it's something that somebody can help you with or do within your price range. And research, again, I can't say it enough. Research, research, research. And that goes on to our next step, which would be insurance. Step 5, insurance. There's so many different insurance companies out there. I personally use USAA. I think they're great. I'm not saying that because they're not paying me to say that at all. I've been with them for about 10 years, and it's brilliant. They've taken care of me very well with vehicle insurance and so on. So that's what I recommend. But there are others out there, of course, that are good. State Farm, Geico, AAA, so on and so forth. And for those who are listening, there are a couple of different factors that can determine a quote for your insurance. Are you a safe driver? How often do you drive in a year? Have you been in any accidents? Are you a student? Do you have good grades? Are you military? There's so many different things that can determine how much you pay for insurance. The color of the vehicle, how old the vehicle is, how new the vehicle is, what color it is. But the list goes on. And just like, finding that vehicle that you want to buy, do your research on insurance as well. See who has the best deal for you and your price range. And really, that just helps everything come together a lot simpler. So yeah, again, research, research, research. Okay, step 6. When you buy the car, pay for it cash. It's just simpler to do that way. I know some people might use buying a vehicle, a brand new vehicle, as a way to build credit. I just think that's it's a way. I didn't do it. I just paid for my vehicle cash. I just think that takes a long time to build somebody's credit if you need to build credit. And you really just don't want to put a down payment on a vehicle when you could have gone out and bought any other car. There's people who will put 2 to 10 grand down and then make $300, $400 payments every month for the next few years on a vehicle when they could have used 5 grand. Really, from my research on Craigslist, for example, 5 grand will buy you just about anything out there that you might want. 10 grand, it's even better if you have that money saved away. So I just think that, especially if you're starting out and this is your first vehicle, stay within 5 grand, 2,500 to 5 grand, and pay with cash. And believe it or not, I don't think that will change, at least not for myself. Whether it's $2,000, $10,000, $20,000, even $60,000 car, if I have the cash saved away and that's what I want to get and I'm comfortable with getting it, it's just simpler that way. And if it's not, well, then guess what? You just have savings. So it's a win-win. So when you buy a car, pay for it with cash. All right, step 7, learn how to drive the car. Now, you've done everything so far. You've found a car that fits your needs, your lifestyle. You set a budget. You researched the vehicles. You got on a test drive the vehicle. And if it's one that you liked, hopefully you bought it. And when you bought it, you paid cash for it. Now it's time to learn how to drive the car. And by that, I mean the characteristics of the car. How does the vehicle shift? If it does, if it's not a direct drive vehicle like maybe some hybrids are nowadays or electric vehicles. How does the car accelerate? How does it handle at certain speeds on certain roads? How well are the brakes? If you don't like how any of these characteristics are portrayed in the vehicle, are there ways that you can change them? And more often the answer to that is yes, whether it's tires, brakes, and when it comes to, say, acceleration, it's mods, but that's a conversation for another time. We're not going to talk about that in this video. So again, learn the characteristics of your vehicle, and if it's something that, well, really, it works for you, then you can definitely keep the car. But of course, this is something that you could have and should have done when you test drove the vehicle. So, especially after you've bought the vehicle, go back to this and see if there's something that you do like, but it's something you have to get used to. Let's say, for example, this new vehicle you have accelerates a lot stronger than your previous vehicle. So that is something you'd have to get used to. It handles different. Of course, that's something you have to get used to. It might even handle better, which again, more fun, but something you have to get used to. Yeah. So, of course, when you get the vehicle, learn as much as you can about it and learn how to drive it so you can enjoy the vehicle, which is the last step of this process. And step 8, final step, is to simply enjoy your vehicle. So if you got that truck or that van for the family, you can go on the road trip, or that car or the Miata. If you got a Miata, congrats. Or even a motorcycle, it just depends. But whatever it is, you've gone through all these steps. You figured out what you need and what you want. You did it within your price range, your budget. You paid for it cash. You're aware of everything that could or could not be an issue with the vehicle, and you prepared for that as well. You did all your homework. Congrats to you for making this awesome purchase that you're confident about. So now, go enjoy it. If you're able to get on the road, have fun, find a back road, maybe a place that is not so heavy in traffic. I don't care if it's a parking lot. Anywhere you can go to, just start driving, simply. I know this is a weird time right now. Not many people are on the road, the whole COVID era. But even then, there's still some people out in the world that are safe enough to go out and buy cars. It doesn't matter which one it is. Life goes on. People will continue to buy vehicles, and they have so many, even brand new ones. So yes, please go out and drive your vehicle. Go out and have fun. Go out and enjoy it. And of course, stay safe. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening specifically, because this is an audio type deal. Let me know if this helped you at all. I hope it really does help you with not just your next vehicle purchase, but just for the rest of the time that you decide to purchase a vehicle, or even other people you can help. I hope you do share this. And if it's helped you, thank you for listening, and I'm glad that it helped you. And please let me know if there's anything else you'd like for me to talk about. If there's anything that I may have missed, mention that as well. Again, my name is Z. I was your host, and thank you so much for listening to the first episode of ModStarz. Have a great day.